From population to politics, from capital economies to colonial might. We're covering the previous developer diaries in This Week in Development. Hello and welcome back to This Week in Development. As always, I am your host, Midgeman, and this week's been a quiet one. With the Tinto staff being away at StaffCon, I'm going to use this valuable opportunity to recap the dev diaries we've had so far, before we have loads more development posts for me to cover. Kicking off with Developer Diary 1, The Population and the Living World. Posted on August 28th, this developer diary explores the in-depth locations and population mechanics of EU5, which serve as its building blocks. In EU5, provinces are no longer this or that in terms of data. They have in-depth population demographics with separate cultures and religions and economies and social class, and it forms the backbone of every aspect of the game. Your wealth, your military, your success, and your hegemony of the globe will all rely on these mechanics. Furthermore, the topography and the resources of a location will shape your economy and your conquests. There's so many systems at play in this dev diary, it's hard to break it all down, so just go and read it for yourself. It's essentially the gameplay primer for this game. Then on September 4th, we published Developer Diary 2 on government, politics, and estates. In this diary, we explore the key political systems that you'll use to control your nation, no matter the type of government. The player in EU5 is represented by the crown, whilst the nation's population system is represented by other national estates. We've also re-implemented the societal value system, which reintroduces policy sliders that will have mechanical game impacts and allow you to shape your nation. Estates, including the nobility, clergy, burghers, and commoners, are all now a fundamental mechanic with their own agendas and buildings. They can be given privileges and will also vie for their own political gain through the parliamentary system. The next developer diary focused on trade and the economic systems. The first economic system is based on production, with each location producing a specific raw material. The output is then influenced by a variety of factors, including geography and infrastructure. The post also details the role of different building types, which can be upgraded and require specific resources and unlock production chains. Goods are then bought and sold in dynamic markets, where prices are determined by supply and demand, and then the markets themselves can grow and change depending on market attraction and market protectionism. Trade is defined as the movement of goods between markets, driven by nations to generate profit or meet demands. Profits by states can then just be taxed, and gold and silver can then be minted into currency. The biggest takeaway from this one is all these systems are so interconnected, requiring strategic decisions from the player. And then finally, we had Developer Diary 4, Discovery, which focuses on the game's exploration and colonization systems. The post explains that exploration is not just about revealing the map, but also involves opportunity, ambition, and risk. A nation's ability to explore is tied to its technological advances, maritime presence, and the characters leading its expeditions. Voyages have an initial cost that require resources, like distance and a nation's monthly exploration progress. Exploration is risky, with potential events ranging from new discoveries to massive setbacks. The colonization process, which follows discovery, involves establishing colonial charters, a costly and time-consuming process that requires pops to migrate from the homeland to the new world. The difficulty of colonization is affected by factors such as native populations and climate. The post also discusses colonial races, when nations compete for the same province, which might lead to massive diversity in a location's population. And that's all for this recap. This week we'll be publishing another DD, this time it's going to be on culture and religions, and the Tinto talks will be starting again, with Johan returning to talk about multiplayer. And I'll see you next time. Be ambitious.